Story 1. By Anthony Morrow. In a small, forgotten town, nestled amidst the rolling hills and ancient woods, the 4th of July carried an air of foreboding. Locals whispered tales of an otherworldly presence that lurked beneath the fireworks and the jubilant celebrations. They spoke of a curse, a dark secret that had haunted the town for generations. As dusk settled over the landscape, the streets filled with laughter and music, masking the unease that lay just beneath the surface. The town's annual Independence Day parade began, adorned with vibrant colors and proud banners fluttering in the evening breeze. But little did the revelers know that this year, something sinister had hitched a ride on the spirit of patriotism. A sudden hush fell over the crowd as a peculiar float made its way down the main street. It was an elaborate display of historical figures frozen in eerie, life-sized sculptures. The sculpted faces, carved with meticulous precision, seemed to come alive with an unsettling gaze, as if peering into the souls of the onlookers. Whispers spread through the crowd, questioning the origin of these unsettling figures. Night fell, and the town's central park was transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors. Families gathered beneath the stars, awaiting the grand fireworks display. As the first fiery bursts illuminated the night sky, a sense of excitement mixed with trepidation, for they knew the curse was about to reveal its true nature. Suddenly, the air turned frigid, an unnatural chill snaking its way through the crowd. The laughter faded, replaced by nervous whispers. Eyes darted back and forth, searching for the source of their unease. The ground beneath their feet rumbled as the spectral figures on the float broke free from their frozen confines, stepping down onto the asphalt. Each historical figure had transformed into a macabre specter, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly luminescence. The townsfolk found themselves trapped in a nightmarish tableau, as the spectral figures advanced, their ghoulish forms contorting and twisting with each step. Fear-stricken screams pierced the night as the apparitions reached out with ethereal hands, enveloping the unsuspecting citizens. Those who were touched were drawn into an ethereal realm, their souls forever lost in the clutches of this cursed celebration. The fireworks continued to explode overhead, but their vibrant colors now seemed mocking and sinister. The once joyous occasion had become a terrifying nightmare, a reminder that the past held secrets that should have remained buried. As the last scream echoed through the desolate streets, the spectral figures dissolved into the night, leaving the town in silence once more. The cursed 4th of July had claimed its victims, and the town would forever bear the scars of that haunting night. Story 2. By Gregory Arms. The sun began to set on the 4th of July, casting an orange glow over the small town of Oakwood. My name is Gregory, and I've always been drawn to the mysteries that lie within abandoned places. On this particular evening, my friends and I decided to embark on a thrilling adventure into the infamous Hawthorne house. The mansion stood atop a hill, a formidable presence with its decaying facade and broken windows. Legend had it that the house was haunted, cursed by a tragedy that occurred years ago. Undeterred by the warnings, we made our way towards the ominous structure. As we approached the grand entrance, a sense of unease settled upon us. The wind whispered through the overgrown foliage, and the once manicured garden now resembled a tangled labyrinth. The front door creaked open as we cautiously stepped inside. The air inside Hawthorne House was heavy with the scent of neglect. Dust particles danced in the slivers of light that pierced through the cracked windows. The floorboards groaned beneath our feet, as if awakening from a long slumber. The atmosphere grew colder, and an unsettling silence enveloped us. We began to explore the mansion, room by room, our flashlights casting eerie shadows on the decaying walls. In one of the bedrooms, we discovered a collection of old photographs, their faded images capturing the life that once thrived within these walls. We could almost hear the laughter and feel the warmth that permeated the rooms. As we delved deeper into the house, we stumbled upon a hidden study. The room was filled with dusty books and yellowed parchment. Among the forgotten relics, we uncovered a journal belonging to the Hawthorne family. Its pages told a tale of love, betrayal, and an unspeakable tragedy that befell the house many years ago. The journal revealed that Thomas Hawthorne, the patriarch of the family, had become entangled in a dark obsession with the occult. In his pursuit of forbidden knowledge, he conducted a ritual within the very walls of the house, unaware of the consequences that would befall his family. As the night wore on, we became acutely aware that we were not alone. Shadows flickered in the corners of our vision, and whispers filled the air, carrying the weight of sorrow and longing. The house seemed to come alive, its creaking floorboards and distant moans amplifying our unease. Suddenly, a chilling cry echoed through the hallways, jolting us from our exploration. Fear tightened its grip around our hearts as we followed the sound, our flashlights trembling in our hands. The cry led us to a hidden chamber in the basement, where a haunting sight awaited us. In the dim light, we saw ethereal figures, their translucent forms filled with anguish. These were the spirits of the Hawthorne family, forever trapped in the torment of their tragic fate. They pleaded with us, their voices a mournful symphony, seeking release from the eternal prison of the house. Determined to help them find peace, we listened to their story, promising to uncover the truth and set their souls free. As we delved deeper into the journal and pieced together the puzzle, a plan began to form. Armed with our newfound knowledge, we embarked on a mission to break the curse that plagued Hawthorne House. We gathered the necessary tools, performed ancient rituals, and confronted the malevolent force that had gripped the mansion for so long. As we chanted the incantations and lit the ceremonial candles, the air crackled with a supernatural energy. The house trembled, its walls shaking with fury. Shadows writhed and twisted, a testament to the battle between light and darkness. With each word uttered and each step taken, the spirits of the Hawthorne family grew stronger. They shared their pain and their longing, their hopes for liberation. We could feel their presence, their energy intertwining with ours. Finally, as the clock struck midnight, a blinding light engulfed the house. The curse that had haunted Hawthorne House for decades was shattered, and the spirits were released from their torment. Their anguished cries transformed into expressions of gratitude and relief. As the light subsided, we found ourselves standing in a completely transformed mansion. The air was filled with a sense of peace and serenity, and the decaying walls seemed to regain a hint of their former grandeur. With our mission accomplished, we bid farewell to the Hawthorne family, knowing that they could finally rest in peace. We left the house that had held so much darkness, forever changed by our encounter with the supernatural. To this day, the 4th of July holds a different meaning for us. It is a reminder of the night we faced our fears, confronted the past, and brought closure to the spirits that lingered within the haunted Hawthorne house. Story 3. By Emily Print. The 4th of July was supposed to be a day of celebration, but for me, it became a nightmarish descent into horror. My name is Emily, and I never could have anticipated the terrifying events that would unfold on that fateful evening. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow over the town, my friends and I gathered at the local park for the annual fireworks display. The atmosphere was electric with anticipation, and laughter filled the air as families and friends gathered to enjoy the festivities. The fireworks began with a burst of color and sound, lighting up the night sky. But as the display continued, something felt off. The explosions seemed louder, the lights brighter, and an eerie silence settled over the crowd. The joyous cheers turned into uneasy murmurs. Suddenly, a firework misfired, shooting off in an unexpected direction. It streaked through the sky with an unsettling hiss and exploded above us, showering the crowd with sparks. Panic erupted as people scrambled to find shelter, their faces contorted with fear. Amidst the chaos, my friends and I sought refuge in a nearby abandoned building. We huddled together, our hearts pounding, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Outside, the sounds of screams and sirens filled the air. As we caught our breath, we realized that something was horribly wrong. The sky above us took on a sinister hue, as if a dark cloud had descended upon the town. Shadows danced along the walls, twisting and contorting in unnatural ways. A deep unease settled over us, and we knew we had to find a way out of this nightmare. We ventured into the desolate streets, our flashlights cutting through the darkness. But the town had transformed into a maze of unfamiliar alleyways and streets that seemed to shift and change with each step. As we navigated the labyrinthine paths, a chilling whisper filled the air, sending shivers down our spines. It spoke of ancient curses, unleashed by the ill-fated fireworks display. We were trapped in a realm between the living and the dead, haunted by vengeful spirits seeking retribution. The spirits materialized before us, their ethereal forms flickering in and out of existence. Their eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and their moans echoed through the night. They were trapped souls, victims of a long-forgotten tragedy that had cursed this town. Desperation fueled our determination to break free from this spectral prison. We retraced our steps, searching for any clues that could lead us to salvation. The whispers grew louder, guiding us towards an abandoned cemetery on the outskirts of town. As we entered the cemetery, an eerie stillness fell over us. The gravestones stood like silent sentinels, casting elongated shadows in the pale moonlight. It was here that we would face the source of the curse, the malevolent spirit that held the town in its grip. With trembling hands, we performed a ritual, hoping to banish the curse and release the trapped souls. The air crackled with energy as we chanted incantations, our voices a desperate plea for salvation. Suddenly, the ground beneath us shook, and a figure materialized before us. It was the spirit of the vengeful entity, its presence palpable and suffocating. Its hollow eyes bore into our souls, filled with hatred and anguish. It unleashed a torrent of fury, hurling objects at us with an invisible force. But we stood firm, refusing to succumb to its malevolence. With every ounce of strength, we chanted the incantation louder, our voices drowning out the spirit's howls of rage. And then, in a blinding burst of light, the spirit dissipated, its hold on the town shattered. As the light faded, we found ourselves back in the park, surrounded by bewildered onlookers. The curse had been lifted, and the darkness that had consumed the town was replaced by the warm glow of streetlights and the distant crackle of fireworks. The 4th of July would never be the same for us. We had experienced a horror beyond imagination, a battle against forces that sought to consume us. And though the scars of that night would forever linger, we emerged stronger, knowing that we had faced true terror and survived. Story 4. By Alex Blade. The 4th of July arrived with its usual excitement and anticipation, but little did I know that the day would be etched in my memory as a night of terror. My name is Alex, and this is the story of the haunted carnival that turned a festive evening into a chilling nightmare. As dusk settled over the town, a peculiar sight caught my attention. A carnival had mysteriously appeared overnight, seemingly out of thin air. Its vibrant lights and nostalgic music lured the townspeople, drawing them in like moths to a flame. Curiosity gripped me, and against my better judgment, I found myself heading towards the spectral carnival. The atmosphere was intoxicating, a blend of excitement and unease that hung in the air. The smell of cotton candy and popcorn mingled with a hint of something sinister. As I stepped onto the carnival grounds, an eerie chill coursed through my veins. The rides creaked and groaned, their rusty metal frames swaying ominously in the breeze. The carnival games stood deserted, their prizes gathering dust as if frozen in time. I ventured deeper into the heart of the carnival, my footsteps echoing on the deserted pathways. The air grew heavy with anticipation, and a sense of foreboding settled over me. It was as if the carnival itself held its breath, waiting for something. And then, the silence was shattered by a piercing scream. It echoed through the night, chilling me to the core. Panic ensued as people ran in every direction, desperate to escape the unknown terror that had befallen the carnival. I found myself drawn towards the source of the screams, my heart pounding in my chest. It led me to a dilapidated tent at the far end of the carnival. The entrance flapped in the wind, beckoning me inside with its tattered fabric. With trembling hands, I pushed open the tent flap, revealing a scene that would haunt me forever. The interior was a twisted carnival of horrors, a maze of grotesque displays and macabre attractions. Each step I took brought me face to face with unimaginable terrors. The air was heavy with the stench of decay, and a chorus of whispers filled the tent. Ghostly figures moved in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly light. They reached out to me, their skeletal hands begging for release from their eternal torment. I soon realized that I had stumbled upon a portal to a realm of trapped spirits, their souls forever bound to the cursed carnival. These were the restless specters of performers and visitors, forever condemned to relive their nightmares. Driven by a mixture of terror and empathy, I vowed to help free these tormented souls. I navigated the twisted pathways, encountering nightmarish creatures and ghastly illusions along the way. Each encounter tested my resolve, but I pressed on, determined to break the cycle of suffering. At the heart of the haunted carnival, I discovered a hidden chamber, filled with arcane symbols and ancient relics. It was here that the source of the curse lay dormant, a malevolent force that fed on the fear and despair of those who entered its domain. Drawing upon every ounce of courage, I embarked on a ritual to break the curse. I chanted incantations, traced symbols in the air, and offered a sacrifice of my own fear. The air crackled with energy, and the chamber trembled as the curse fought to maintain its hold. And then, with a blinding flash, the curse was shattered. The trapped souls were released, their ethereal forms dissipating into the night. The haunted carnival crumbled around me, its illusions unraveling like a thread. As the dust settled, I found myself standing in an empty field, the remnants of the spectral carnival scattered around me. The night sky exploded with fireworks, their colors a symbol of victory over darkness. The 4th of July would never be the same for me. The memories of that night would forever haunt my dreams. But I emerged from the spectral carnival, forever changed and with a newfound appreciation for the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the realm of the supernatural.